Hello everyone, Alasdair Gold here. Alasdair Gold. No, it's Alasdair Gold, because stairs are something that you fall down, whereas dare is like to dare is to do. I've got some exciting Tottenham Hotspur news about the rebranding. As you know, I'm a journalist, so I know about the rebranding, which brings me on to a funny experience about my morning this morning. I got into my car quite early, and it started first time, but my car always starts first time. But I was driving down the road and no one beeped their horn at me. And then I pulled over and I went to the library and I was looking to get a new book. But would you believe it? I forgot my library card. So when I went into the library and I wanted to take out a book, they said, "Where's your library card?" And I said, "Well, I left it at home." And they said, "Well, have you got any other ID?" And I showed them my driver's license and they looked it up on their system and they said, "Oh, that's fine, you can take the book out, but make sure you bring it back in 4 weeks," which I thought was quite funny. But I left there and I was driving and I saw the road markings on the road and they reminded me of a time I was in Barbados. Don't know why, I just did, I had a bit of a flashback. But anyway, I was driving around the North Circular, which if I don't know, it's very funny. There's often a traffic jam on the North Circular. But anyway, I got to where I was going and there were lots of people there. And I find that really weird, how you go to some places and there's lots of people around. Isn't it weird, eh? God, life's a funny old thing. But the rebranding, that reminds me of the time I rebranded something myself. It was a police officer that pulled me over and a friend of mine sprayed his badge with a paint aerosol can. How can I keep this going for another hour? People are watching this. I've got to keep them interested. Tesco's, hey, they've put their prices up. But the rebranding at Tottenham, they made it. There was a big hoo-ha, wasn't there, about the players. God, there's lots of player news at the moment. Who's coming? Who's going? Who knows? It could all be the stuff of fantasy, couldn't it? But there's players, as you know. We support a football club, and an important part of a football club are its players, and also the image. Okay, well. Also, the image that the club puts forward to people around everywhere, journalists like myself. And thank you very much, by the way, for the 60,000 subs. That's great. I didn't really imagine when I started this channel that I'd get so many subs. But that's great. Have you ever been to Ikea? Isn't it weird how they make you walk around the wrong way? Look, there's some Spurs news, but I was just Ikea, man. They make you, but if you're really careful and observant, as I am, because I am a trained journalist, you can see there's shortcuts, and it helps you get around quicker. A lot quicker around Ikea if you take the shortcuts, because sometimes I just only want to go in there and buy some candles. I'm not always in there to buy like furniture. I've got lots of furniture. Sometimes it's just little things that I want to buy, and I find it really annoying. Hey, tell you what, man, Ikea, You get one of those trolleys and you go around the long way, and oh God, doesn't it take forever? Doesn't it take forever? A bit like Spurs in the transfer window. There's been rumours of disruption of players with Ange Postecoglou. I remember a disruption I had with the policeman that we sprayed the badge off to rebrand him. Yeah, he wasn't very happy. And but there was a holiday, and I had in Barbados once. Funny lines on the road. I mean, it was like being in a different country. But the roads were the markings on the roads, just like the North Circular. It was yeah, it's pretty crazy that. But the Spurs players, they're disharmony. I don't believe that for 1 second, because no one's told me about that. So I mean, I only write about stuff that people's told me about. But the funny thing about Ikea is the food hall. It's so Swedish, isn't it? The whole thing. And but then back to the players. From what I heard was Harry Winks. There's the 32 million. There's that Harry Winks thing. The Harry Winks thing, man. The Harry Winks thing. It's funny, you know, when you're driving around the North Circular, there's that bit. Is it Hanger Lane roundabout? There's an old building there. There used to be a lot of cows out there as well at Park Royal. I think there was a Guinness factory there. And the cows, apparently, they provided all the milk for the Guinness. Yeah, it's a funny old life. But Postecoglou is under pressure. Postecoglou's under pressure because he lost against Ipswich. And I don't know about you, but I thought that wasn't a good game, was it? It was it's not very good. We didn't win. We didn't win, did we? And I've got to thank everyone. For all the support on this YouTube channel. It's been amazing. It's been amazing. And I didn't think when I started that you remember those gas tower things? There used to be those gas towers, big gas towers. They were like big tanks. And like when they were full of gas, they were quite high off the ground, and then when the gas was used, they would go low, wouldn't they? But thanks for the subs. Thanks for the subs, everyone. And I'm trying to get. If you use the discount gold, Alasdair gold, because remember it's dare. It's dare to do. It's not stare, because. But when I was on my way to the office to the North Circular, and I drove past the cows, and it's funny. I don't know if you've ever been on the North Circular, but I don't know, something about it. The road markings, they remind me of Barbados, and the time that we rebranded a policeman. But Spurs have rebranded. They've rebranded. There's a lot of, tell you what, talk about hoo-ha. There's a lot of hoo-ha about the old rebranding. It's big news. And I'm sure fans will criticise Daniel Levy for it, you know, But I think there's two sides to the story. There's the side that, you know, really wanted to rebrand it, and then there's the others. Not so fussed, really, were they? Not so fussed on the rebranding. Ikea might be rebranding soon. Rebranding. I think my local library is. I'll tell you what. I was so lucky. I was so lucky that my local library had the systems in place, so that when I left my I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I left my. Would you believe it? Would you believe it? Silly old me. What a duffer. I left my library card at home, but luckily because I was going to get a book out it was just about gardening. Just wanted to find out how to do it, really, because I've not done it before. Lived in a flat all the time, but now but thanks to my subscriber, thanks to you, and being a journalist, I've got like a small place. It's got a garden, and I just want to know how to garden. So I went to the library. I thought that's the place to find out a book. But I didn't have my pass, did I? Didn't have my pass. In fact, when I went to Barbados, I mean, it would have been a different story there, wouldn't it? Hey, it would have been a different story there, because like if I didn't have my passport when I went to Barbados, then I don't think I could have got in with a library card. I don't think that would have worked. But the gardening book, it's been a life changer. There's seeds and watering. You've got to be careful though, because for hosepipe bands, we're running out of water. Running out of water. Bit like maybe a bit like Ange Postecoglou running out of time. He just like the hosepipe ban, because how many losses can Ange Postecoglou take? I mean, I'm firmly behind it, but there's two schools of thought. There's on the one hand, there's people that they've got no more time, but on the other, I mean, they're like the hosepipe ban people that don't. But then there's the other people that really like Ange. I don't think there's any middle ground there. Middle ground, like the middle lane of Barbados Airport, because you got three. When you get to the funny thing is, when you get to Barbados Airport, there's three bits you can go through. There's the nothing to declare, and there's the I've got something to declare, and then there's the I'm not sure that bit. I think it's yellow. There's like a red no, and then green tick, and then I think the middle bit is it's very confusing. You can get very lost there. Just like the other day when I went to Ikea, and I just wanted I didn't want furniture. I don't know if I've mentioned this. I didn't want furniture. I just wanted some candles and some spoons, because I just ran out of spoons. Oh, I was having people round and I needed more spoons because, well, they're handy, aren't they? The rebranding, yes. What a furore, eh? What a furore. Because, oh God, it's split Spurs fans down the middle. Down the middle. Some people want the rebranding and some don't. Time will tell, won't it? Time will tell. I did have an exclusive. What was it? Rumours about Harry Winks. Rumours about Harry Winks. I mean, Harry Winks, don't forget, we sold him. And now there's a rumour that he's coming back. And what a tornado that's Well, the cows on the North Circular, it's funny this, because they are actually black and white, which I think that led to the rumours that they were part of the Park Royal Guinness site. But I'll get onto my exclusive in a little bit. The exclusive that I was given. But the rebrand, there's lots of things that rebrand these days. I don't recognise my own neighbourhood anymore. I mean, apart from the fact, I moved. I don't know if I told you, I lived in a flat, but now I've got a garden, and I went to the library. I mean, that's a different story. I could talk for hours about what happened to me at the library. But everything's rebranding, isn't it? Everything. I don't know where I'm going anymore. I don't know where I'm going. In fact, I mean, TV's changed, doesn't it? TV. But on the bright side, there is a bright side. I'd just like to say thank you to my subs. I didn't dream that I'd have a garden, and see cows and actually earn money about talking about the cows. I'll tell you what, paper clips are a weird old thing, aren't they? Paper clips. You ever find that? Paper clips, who clips paper? It's all online, man. Get with the program. It's wicked, not whack. But paper clips, they've not been rebranded. Everything else has been rebranded. Everything else has changed in the world. Paper clips, I think, in essence, have stayed the same. Just a bent piece of metal. But I hope you like the on-air sign. I was gonna get rid of it, but wow. I mean, there's two schools of thought, isn't there? It's split. Fans they're split, aren't they? Fans are split. Has Tottenham's fan base ever been so divided? So some people want to keep the on-air thing, and other people don't. Scotland's a funny old thing, isn't it? Hey, you sort of, like, you drive into the water at like Aldborough or somewhere off the coast of Norfolk in an amphibious vehicle, and you hang a left. And if you hang a left and you keep close to the coastline for a while, I mean, I don't know what speed an amphibious vehicle can go at. I'm sure there's some that can go very fast. Maybe there's some that are quite slow. But if you keep going up that way, eventually, like when you pass places like Hull, I mean, you could go for a detour in there, down the Humber. There's a very nice bridge there. Very nice cafe in Hull. In fact, no, it wasn't. It was in Cleethorpes. It was Cleethorpes. It was called the Hawaiian Eye, I believe, as they were just another casualty of COVID. Remember COVID? Eh? God, those days have passed. I mean, remember when we were playing under COVID? And Tottenham rebranding Harry Winks. I don't know about that. None of my confidential sources have told me much about that at all. I've not heard it. But if you carry on going, you've got to go past the Humber though. Don't get distracted, and don't pull in to places like Skegness and Cleethorpes, because Lincoln is I don't know about your experience, but I find Lincoln a bit funny. I don't think there's many Ikeas there. Not many Ikeas there at all. And no, you can't buy an on-air sign there in Lincolnshire. I believe they call it there, Lincolnshire. Just don't walk round the fens because everyone looks the same. It's a bit weird. But if you keep on going north, So you got to go past the Humber. Very different weather to Barbados. Very different weather to Barbados. If you are, I just say, look, if you are thinking of travelling overseas, and in particular somewhere like Barbados, the best thing to do is to have a passport with you, because I tried getting in there with a library card and I was sent back home. But there's weird road markings in Barbados. They're just like the North Circular. But if you can carry on going past the Humber, and then soon you'll get to Newcastle. You've got to go past that, of course. Where was it? Scotland. Then you get to Scotland. Tottenham news. I'm going to Scotland soon. I won't need a passport or a library card to go to Scotland. Can you believe it? Wow. It's a world without borders these days. And I'm going to be going to see Tottenham versus Glasgow Rangers. I'll be in the press box. I'll probably have a pretty good view. I think I might even ask Ange some questions before the game. I'm teeing them up. I think I might ask him, so Ange, how do you feel about this game? I'm looking for the next level in my career. I'm thinking Pulitzer. I don't think there's a Nobel Prize, but I'm thinking, how are you feeling about the game, Ange? And how are the players injured? Who's anyone injured? And you see, that just softens them up, because I've watched Prime Minister's Question Time. What they do there is they'll say, I'd like to ask the Prime Minister about what they're doing today. And the Prime Minister will say, I'd like to refer the Right Honourable insert whatever here to the answer I gave several moments ago. And then they're allowed to do a supplemental question. So that's my angle on Ange. I'll say, how are you feeling about the game, Ange? And he'll say something. So then I'll say, oh no, that's my supplemental question, isn't it? Then I say, how about the injuries? I don't know. Have you ever seen the cows in Park Royal? I know you're Australian. Ange, are there cows in Australia? Just to break down those barriers between, I don't know really. I mean, luckily there's no border between us and Scotland, that's for sure. And I'll be on the road. I'll be on the road all the way to Glasgow Rangers, which is the twin town to Glasgow Celtic. They're next door to each other. They've each got a population of about 2 million. And there's a great big fence down the middle. Great big fence. And can't wait. I'm going to have such a nice seat there. Tell you what, I think I've got a good one. But then I'll have to drive back south. I mean, I know for sure you don't need a pass. Spurs news. Injuries. There was that guy. There's that guy we've got. He's a defender, isn't he? He's won the World Cup. What's his name? It's not Emerson Royale. We sold him, didn't we? It's the other one. Romero. I think he's got a foot injury, but I think doctors are there's such a divide in doctors' opinions. On the one hand, they think he's got a foot injury. On the other, maybe not. And Bentancur. He's suspended for seven years. 7 years. I think he's going to be 35 by the time he comes back. I mean, there's no room for racism in football, but 7 years. 7 years. I tell you, what's not a racist store? It's Ikea. Ikea. Well, it is a bit. It's all Swedish, isn't it? It's not much diversity in Ikea, but I tell you what, a little tip: if you go to Ikea, there's shortcuts. There's shortcuts. Can Ange find the shortcut to success? I'd like to thank my subscribers. I never dreamt that this YouTube channel would be as successful as this. Just goes to show you. What amazing rebrand. I won't. I can assure you. Tell you what, I won't be rebranding my channel. I know Tottenham Hotspur have rebranded, and there's divided opinion about that. But what I can assure you is I won't be. I'm not going to be rebranding. I've learned that I've heard that a lot of people watch my videos on 1.5 speed. So to combat that, I'm going to speak 1.5 times even slower. And if you go to 2 times, I'm going to speak. Anyway, North Circular. When are they going to re-tarmac it? There's loads of potholes, isn't there? Speed cameras. Oh, everyone hates speed cameras, don't they? Speed cameras, they're everywhere. That's why I sped up. I sped up because I thought of speed cameras. I thought I can't go too slow because I'm pretty sure you get I don't know if you get a speed. You get a slowing fine. If you speak too slow on YouTube. And Bentancur, Bentancur. Fans are divided. Scotland's past Hull. If you want to, it's up there. It's up. And Barbados. No cow. Well, I didn't see any cows there. I think that's probably the only difference between Barbados and the North Circular, especially the Park Royal aspect of the North Circular. Black and white cows. They're not actually in Barbados. They have all sorts of different things. No libraries. Which wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. I'm in a way. I have to admit, I'm glad Barbados. I couldn't find a library because I think if I'd have bought a gardening book in Barbados, I'm not sure that would have been applicable to where I live. In my new place with a garden, I don't know if I've mentioned it, but it's got a garden. It's got a small plot of land. Well, it's not a plot of land. It's a box of dirt and grass I hang out of my window. But I'd like to grow something in there. And I think if I bought a book from Barbados with Barbados flora, I was going to say flora and fauna, but I mean, you don't want a Barbados animal hopping through your flower pot here. I mean, just the flowers. I don't think it would have applied. So that's why I went to my local library in here. Systems are amazing. Did you know you can go in without a library card? Well, don't take my word for it. It's possible that they were just doing me a favour. They knew who I was. I am a library regular because words are my stock and trade. If I don't read words, then words can't come out. I have to put words in order for them to. If I stop doing that, I'll starve myself of words, and I won't be able to write anything. That's the way it works. Just nothing comes out. I have done it in the past. I had to call in sick because I stopped reading, and I got onto my Imperial typewriter, and I tried typing, and I'd run out of words. It was like dehydration of the dictionary kind. It's not verbal, is it? It's not verbal. You don't say it. It's a dictionary. See, I'm running out now. This is the problem with doing these podcasts, is that I talk so long. I get withdrawal symptoms of not having words in my brain, and then I run out of words. And I think that's a shame. I think that's a shame. Bumblebees. Yeah, they're Stilton cheese. Because there's player. There's something. The players at Tottenham. Are we going to get this monkey affair back? Is Ange Postecoglou the guy to get? I saw a monkey in Barbados. It wasn't on Ange's back. Maybe there's hope, but there's another monkey. I think it's a figurative monkey. I'm running out of words though. It's a figurative monkey on Tottenham's back. That's a big monkey. Where would it go? On Ange's back. It's not on Tottenham. It is on both of their back. It's on Ange's back as well, but it's a big monkey, and that monkey says no trophies. Is Ange the person with the monkey on his back to get the monkey off his back, which would in turn get the monkey off Tottenham's back about silverware? Is he? I hear both lots of sides. There's so many sides of this thing. It's either sides of a dotted line on the road, much like the North Circular, which does remind me of Barbados. But if you're following a dotted line in Ikea, remember that you can take the shortcut. Unlike if you're in a boat and you just chuck a left at the north, there's no real shortcuts. I mean, I suppose taking a boat from Aldborough or maybe Harwich. I mean, that's a bit longer away, so you probably want to drive a car to Aldborough. Or if you're going to go to Scotland by sea, I mean, it's a bit further north, isn't it? And the further north you go, Rangers, eh? I don't think, even though there is a border, there's no border between England and Scotland. I don't think you can bring monkeys with you. So Ange's monkey on his back, it's not going to Glasgow, which means maybe the Tottenham monkey on the back of the Lily Whites. Harry Winks. Who'd have thought his name would ever be brought up again? Harry Winks. Because don't forget, we sold him. But would you believe it? There's rumours that Tottenham might be buying Harry Winks back. Monkeys, eh? Monkeys, they're almost like people. They're a bit thicker though, aren't they? They're not quite as smart. They're stronger. Isn't that funny, eh? On the one hand, monkeys are dumber, but on the other hand, they're so much stronger. Life is a cavalcade. It's a look, the on-air light. I didn't switch. I don't know if I switched it on or not. It could have been switched on. I tended to. I had it out in the hallway, but when it was out in the hallway, I found that when I was doing my podcasts, it couldn't see it. So I opted to take my on-air light out of the hallway. I put it on the couch, and I thank you so much to all my subscribers. Who would have thought that subscribers would have allowed me to I can keep myself in spoons and candles. I have to read more now. I'm sorry, folks. I'm starved of words. I know I've let you down. It's a short podcast. No words.